we go.
All right.
Right. Yes. So we started this. We're going to get this started as far as we are live on Facebook Live right now. So welcome everybody on Facebook Live. I can't look at the comments because I need to use this phone real quick so that we can start the podcast. But as usual with the podcast, we're going to get, I'm going to just start it up right here, the recording. There's going to be a 30-second spot that we're quiet, and then we will go into the all right. Somewhere I heard, go. Come on.
Carl, what are you drinking on? Looks like a Booker's with the wax.
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Log Still Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.
Spirits of French Lick is proud to introduce the Maddie Gladden Bottled Bond Bourbon. This 4-year aged bourbon is double pot distilled and non-chill filtered and has a full-bodied mouthfeel with eucalyptus, molasses, clove, ginger, and slight citrus as well as grains of paradise. The finish is long and reappearing on the back of the tongue with notes of pepper, tobacco leaf, and mint cream. All of our spirits are available for tasting and purchase inside the French Lick Winery and Distillery. Spirits of French Lick. Respect the grain, please enjoy responsibly, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
Happy.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell and making some
guys.
Bourbon Boys in the house.
Yep.
Kenny, thank you so much. We really appreciate what you have done for us. That was freaking amazing that you did a Scotchy Bourbon Boys theme song. I mean, it's just, and that one right there is the first time it's ever played in its final aspect on a podcast. So we got that going. So we'll.
It only took 200 episodes to get a theme song.
200 episodes to get our own song, right?
We've always had, first it was Morrison singing the Alabama song, Show Me the Way to the Next Whiskey Bar. And then we got Little Steve-O to do it for us. You can check him out on littlestevo.com, but we'll run that at the end because we're live on Facebook tonight. I'm going to start watching the comments. I'm going to just get that down now that I have. And we'll finish up with that.
I've got Facebook Live, Jeff. I put it up on my phone.
There we go.
I've got Facebook Live, Jeff.
Okay. All right, here we go. There. So I got that. The 200th. We got McLean Karen. Yes, and Greg says he likes the benchmark. It was once the best bourbon on the market in the early 1980s, owned by Seagram's all the time. So we got Greg on there. We got a bunch of people in watching. But like I said, this is amazing. We've got the whole group here. Roxy's not here tonight; she wasn't feeling good. But besides having Roxy on, and then we I also was able to get a fill in. This is Jacob. He's actually one of my son's friends that loves whiskey. He describes himself as not a connoisseur, but
an alcoholic.
But yeah, he's a major drinker of whiskey. Yeah. So I've been trying to slow him up and teach him how to
wait, that's what we were doing?
Count Dracula's trying to get you to lay off the blood. My God.
But then we have Young Nose. Hey, Young Nose.
Hey, it's good to be back. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Yeah, we have Super Nash also.
Super Nash in the house.
So everybody on Facebook Live, you're not going to be able to see them, but you're going to be able to hear them. We've got it turned up like that. And then we also have Whiskey, one of our newest additions to the podcast. And then we have Xavier.
Greetings.
And myself, Tiny. We've been doing this now. Our first podcast, Young Nose, was November 4th of 2019. Coming back.
I know it's been so long, it seems like, but It's been flying by fast for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't believe it. Seems like yesterday that we did the 100th. I mean,
right. I remember that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we brought in a bunch, but tonight it's kind of special. I wanted to review a couple things. Go over some different things. But everybody remember www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can pull off the t-shirts for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We also have Glenn Karen's out there, and check it out. Check out the website.
Karen's. It doesn't matter because you can't see us on the screen.
Top right.
Mine's empty, but it'll be filled here soon.
Yes, top right-hand corner of that website is the Patreon. Get ready because it's about to be upgraded. We did our first ever Scotchy Bourbon Boys barrel pick. It will be available in September. It is called the Barrel Room Scotchy Bourbon Boy Select. It's a Knob Creek pick, 10 years, 8 months, 120.2 proof. It's going in there right from the barrel, and we're damn excited about it. It was a damn.
That's just how you like them, isn't it, Jeff? 10 years old.
Yeah, always. When it comes to my whiskey. Okay, so
that's what I meant, Jeff. That's what I meant. I don't know what you were.
Yeah, what was he thinking there, Carl?
200 is like we're starting to get down. What would you say? It's like we're serious, right?
Yeah, we're getting to that range where you usually get canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not canceled.
Why do you think I've been so nervous about coming on the last few times? Is this the one? Oh God, is this the one?
No, I mean at 200, that's just.
I don't want to scare anybody, but he's going to entitle this "The Little Bighorn Valley." But,
Well, that worked out for Custer.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The last one.
Oh. Anyways, so one of the couple things we want to kind of do is go over the years, the different kind of the podcasts that we've done. We've done a lot of them, and that type of thing. But also, we want also to bring Jacob on for this one so that he can taste some damn good whiskey. And tonight, one of the one that he's about to taste right now is the whiskey that started it all. We are talking Johny Walker Blue label. Now,
oh yeah,
just anybody who hasn't gotten the history of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, myself and Young Nose worked together. At the time he lived in Ohio. He now lives in South Carolina, but what we were doing is I had picked up a
South Carolina
desktop.
They're going to form their own spin-off bourbon group, probably. Only for a South Carolina exclusive.
The South Carolina.
Yeah, right.
PBS chapter.
You could be the real Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Hey, you know what?
I don't know.
I heard a catchy theme song that might be a good.
Hey, anybody want to take it over? It's a lot of time and effort. Feel free. Anyways, what we were doing, I bought a whiskey calendar at the Books A Million for 50% off. It was a little desktop calendar, and I started.
The calendar that started it all.
All about the different whiskeys. They had pictures and different facts. And then I was like kind of amazed. And we were always, we were there early, the first guys there. And I would be like, hey, did you ever, taste pumpkin pie and whiskey? Or did you ever have, squashes? There was just all these different tasting notes that were just weird and unique. Yeah. And we're like, we at one point just said, we both said, we called bullshit. Like, no fucking way does whiskey.
No, there was sheep. Sheep.
Yeah. Sheep shit. Yes.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize that till later that we didn't like the sheep shit. But anyways.
And then the Young Nose actually tasted it and loved it. Thanks again for that, Bill.
Yeah, there you go.
Xavier.
The life you saved may have been mine. So.
But so what happened was as we went through this calendar, and I probably picked it up in like February because it was 50% off. And as we were going through, and we got into the spring, we're like, well, let's see. And so we started. If I remember correctly, it was Famous Grouse. We picked up a Famous Grouse Scotch, and then we started picking up different ones that we would see. And Johny Walker, I think we picked up, and then we picked up a couple Scotches, and then there was a couple bourbons, and that's when Bill or Xavier got into it. Xavier got into it because we were like, hey, we've always drank bourbon, and we know you like bourbon, but somehow
I never met a bourbon I didn't like.
Right, but somehow. There's no way that all these tasting notes are in here. So we formed Xavier Rabo, who isn't yet, and then Young Nose and myself formed a whiskey group in the August of 2018, where we had a meeting and but we also
this was before the man cave days.
Right. And then found out in September when it was happening that Kentucky Bourbon Festival existed, right?
2018.
From that calendar, exactly. And we just missed it.
We formed
had just missed it.
2018, had a couple of things, and then in the summer of 2019, it started to get going.
Okay.
And then we went to Kentucky Bourbon Festival in 2019.
Correct.
If you remember, I spent all year saving from September of 2018 to go to Kentucky Bourbon Festival in 2019.
Right.
So, I mean, we were like into this, and we didn't, the whole year of 2018, we didn't form it. We were just getting together, drinking some whiskeys, whatever. And then in 2019, we went to Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and it was on from that point. And then right after, we met Super
It was
Nash.
a life-changing event.
Yeah.
Both the Bourbon Festival and meeting Super Nash.
But
That's when along came
Yes.
Yeah.
Proof.
1792, and sort of how I got introduced to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I sort of met Jeff through his painting.
Is that still from the original case, or is that a new pickup?
No, this is actually one. This is a signed bottle that me and Jeff picked up at the distillery. That me and him went on a distillery tour, and picked up this signed bottle.
Nice.
All
All
right. I just
right.
happened to figured I'd bring it out just to bring up that memory where I shipped up a case to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys and
Oh yeah.
started the bourbon boom and the Super Nash finding you guys a little bit of bourbon you couldn't get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm all for a walk down memory lane, but I was thinking, man, 2018, that was so long ago. So I went online and was going through some of the old podcasts, and I found a picture of Young Nose from that very first podcast. And
all right.
Yeah.
I've watched some of those early podcasts, and I'd have to say, looking back at the early podcasts, we were, bad humor, bad jokes, technical difficulties, can't get them arranged. And you know what? 200 podcasts, not much has changed. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because
we got better
honest with
cameras,
you,
and
we got better cameras.
and better sound, but we don't know how to use them still.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
There's still technical errors. I've been hearing them every time.
Yeah. There's always going to be technical errors with this group.
Yeah, that's true.
We're one big technical error.
You're right.
after like 3 days later, Young Nose was born a technical error.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
No,
Cannot.
but actually, if you remember, you kind of early on where it was able, you were the person who enabled me to actually where we could actually get something on. Whereas, you came in with your microphone and we kind of made it work,
John,
Right.
Young Nose.
So, Greg just asked who the master distiller at 1792 was when Super Nash acquired the bottle.
Oh, he's
Do
got
you
it.
remember?
I think it was.
Well, his name's on the bottle.
His initials were DSK.
There you go, Greg. DSK. The ever elusive desk.
No,
Yep.
Greg knows who that is. He will instantly be able to tell you who that master distiller was. But anyways, getting back. So the first meeting that we had, we decided as a group of four, was it 4 or 5? We all pitched in.
It was technically 5, but Rabo wasn't at the meeting physically.
Right. And but he pitched in, and we all pitched in and bought our first bottle of Johny Walker Blue because it was something I always wanted. But when I go back to Wisconsin, instead of it being $225 a bottle, I was able to get it for a lot less, like $180. And we basically all pitched in, and we've kept that bottle of blue going this is the 3rd bottle that everybody's pitched in. The bigger it gets. After a Scotchy Bourbon Boy meeting, anybody who wants a pour can have a pour. And just like with right now, I'm sharing with Jacob here. What do you think of the Johny Walker Blue? I mean, it's so.
How long has that bottle been open, Tiny?
We opened it on the bus tour last year. So
Okay, so for a while, because the reason I asked is there's a clear difference from a cracked Johny Walker Blue and one that's been sitting around for a while. The peaty, scotchy notes definitely linger further as it sits. Whereas when you first crack it, it's like just super smooth, sweet, and like it's like fresh air.
So it's a lot like Xavier. The longer it sits in one place, it gets a little peaty.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you got it.
I'm really realizing how underqualified I am for this podcast after that.
Just sitting around getting moldy.
That's me.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get to your thing. I've got it. It's sitting here. You just want a little, so let's just wait a while.
That's
so
fine. Yeah, I'm good. I got my pinch drinker.
So
here,
this bottle didn't pull out as much of that peating of the smokiness that it adds. It's still pretty smooth. It's fruity and silky. What do you get out of it when you're drinking it?
I feel a lot of pressure now.
No pressure.
In answer to Greg's question, that would be Danny Kahn. Danny Kahn was the master distiller at 1792 when we got this bottle. And that's who the initials DK were standing for.
We got El Presidente in the house. He's
all right.
El Presidente.
El Presidente.
To Mr. Randy Prosy.
Randy.
All right. So everybody needs to pour something. One of the things I want to do is, yes, during those early days, we had live tastings. We were doing things. We kind of did it. It's like we started it in November of 2019. We were starting to get to go, and it was I was happy if 20 people downloaded in right away, and we were we just kept doing it for fun, and then that's when Greg Schneider, who is tonight with us, and also Alan Bishop, kind of basically two distillers, very well seasoned, great distillers, kind of took Young Nose and myself, and that's when Xavier really started to jump on to the podcast. Initially it was me and Young Nose, but Xavier started jumping in, and then there was that one night and what were you do you have your notes still there, Young Nose? Do you have that book with the notes, your tasting notes?
I'm sure it's somewhere.
You don't have to look, but
yeah, I was recording them for a long time, and I had a lot of different stuff down. And it's just
about the infamous night.
Yeah, the infamous night where all three of us were sitting around, and you referred to, I forget what was the bourbon that was buttery,
long legs, buttery
legs,
nice.
That was our lovely Maker's Mark podcast. I remember that. So it's in the show notes. The title of it is called "Making the Marking." Is that one, and that one was just a train wreck from the beginning, because that was also with your infamous at the very beginning.
We didn't hear that. We didn't hear him do it. We're listening to the podcast
at all until we went back to it. Right.
John and I look at each other. It's like, what the hell was that?
Then for about a year, the podcast started off with everyone was like,
"Yep."
So that was a blast. So just let's Are you finished with yours?
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
Of course I'm finished. Where's more? So I see a couple of things. We got Watershed on the lineup, Monk's Road, the Chicken Cock Island Rooster. What else is sitting on the table there?
Well, we got
Maddie Gladden.
This Maddie Gladden.
Maddie Gladden. Oh man.
But that brings us to our sponsors. But for just real quick, whiskey. You are drinking something special tonight in honor of this, and I'm jealous as fuck. So
yeah, me too.
Show everybody what you are drinking. Let us know and how you're drinking it, because
dude,
support everybody.
There's no video, so it doesn't matter if I show everybody.
What do you mean there's no video?
I can see you just fine.
Yeah.
No, you're on. I am recording this. This will go on YouTube. You get on. This whole thing is going up. Everybody, this is for the live. They can't see it, but for the YouTube viewers, let us know.
Nice.
Hold that.
I have this bottle right here.
Yeah. What?
It's right here. It's
Come on. Show us.
about 3/4 full.
I mean, I'm so
Like this.
oh my God. And look at how much fucking whiskey's in there.
That's worth.
You know, he just so you know, we went up to visit him and his wife last weekend, and
Be careful what you say. That might be your last trip here.
yeah, no. But when I got there, there's a sign on his bar saying, "Do not touch the whiskey."
The bourbon.
The
Don't
bourbon.
touch the bourbon.
Just like so, he invited me over to his house, but he tortured me by basically nobody could drink any bourbon. Now, Super Nash, he said I could bring my own. Okay, so
He brought moonshine. He brought Super Nash moonshine.
I brought
Yeah.
moonshine, and I brought it in my my flask from that Randy supplied me last year with, and that I was able to get through the VIP, and I had that thing full, and it went into. I drank it straight. I drank it in ginger ale, and I drank it in Pepsi. And I'm here to tell you, it mixes well.
Yeah, same thing. Pappy and Coke. It's real good together.
Awesome.
You're doing the Pappy on the rocks tonight. So there you go. All right.
Yep.
So the first,
But you know what, Jeff? I got my Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
Oh yeah,
Here, right?
the crystal.
Glencairn, yes. That's something that only the Scotchy Bourbon Boys have.
A Scotchy Bourbon Boy exclusive.
So I just did put my new order through Martin Duffy of the Glencairn Glass Company. I ordered another 4 dozen plus another 6 Crystal Glencairn. So those are going to be on their way soon. But let's go to let's do a thing. Everybody, whiskey you don't count, but everybody else, what was the first whiskey we ever drank on the podcast?
You told me, so I can't participate.
What is the first whiskey we ever drank on the podcast?
Yep.
Basil Hayden.
I was just gonna say it probably was Basil Hayden, but
it's
yes,
Caribbean rum.
You found the Caribbean one. Oh my gosh, that was like chocolate candy deliciousness. I love that one. That one was good.
It was also 2019 Kentucky Bourbon Festival Devil Water.
Yeah, I remember that too. That's how you found out about it.
It ended up on Xavier's shoes.
Yeah.
I watched what I drank that night. I felt good. That wasn't out of control, and somehow I ended up cleaning barf off of my pants and my boots. It wasn't my barf.
Now I'm curious. I want to see what the actual very first episode was.
The first one was introducing the boys, but the second one was Basil Hayden carrot.
Pretty.
Did you just say Basil Hayden carrot juice?
Carrot juice.
Herb rye.
Carrot juice.
I love this shit. This is courtesy of Super Nash because he popped his and said, fuck this, and sent it to me. Not his forte, right there, Super Nash?
At the time.
Yep.
I was early on.
Yep.
You've become a more eclectic bourbon drinker.
Yeah.
Whiskey drinker now.
Now that I realize that
yep. Basil Hayden Caribbean Rye. Wow.
when you have a collection of 400 and you're gonna open it up to a bar, I could charge $30 a pour for that.
Yeah,
sure you could.
This is actually this is not finished in rye casks. It actually has, finished in a rum cask. It's finished. It actually has Caribbean rum added into it.
Mhm.
So it's not. That's one thing.
It's a blend, is what you're saying.
Well, you hear a lot of rips on this, but I don't give a shit. This is delicious. It's like, people are like, well, that they add rum to it. Well, okay, who the fuck cares, right? It's whiskey with a little bit of rum added to it, and that's what I would have been, a pirate. And so you took the fucking rum and you put it with the rye whiskey.
Whiskey's gonna crush that one.
And eventually, boom.
Come on,
It's
whiskey.
a deep fly ball to deep center field. It's going, gone.
Greg Schneider said that would be a good comparison to taste his Chicken Cock Island Rooster against that Basil Hayden's Caribbean Rye.
Okay,
Sorry, what?
there you go.
There is no comparison. Island Rooster rum.
So I don't think there's going to be a comparison. I did have this here, full well knowing Greg probably would be hanging out with us.
I've been trying to find that one. I know it's coming around on shelves, but I have not been successful yet.
On the Island Rooster rum.
We can have both.
Yes.
No, I can't have.
Oh, it's excellent.
I'm really not supposed to
I
have.
like it.
And he wants the chicken.
Very subtle taste of the rum comes through, and
Right.
it's really, really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, when I can find it, I'll definitely pick one up. But
Sweeten
I can find the rye and I can find the bourbon, but I haven't found that one yet.
You don't have to find. I will send you a good amount of the Island Rooster. I can do that.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Send them
Still,
the
if I
stuff.
find a bottle, I'm probably gonna grab one because.
Totally important.
No, he was going to send me a sample, but my bottles actually came 2 days before the podcast that we did with Greg. I ordered them soon as they released them, and they set up 2 days before the podcast.
All right. Whoa! I took the cap off, but I didn't take the cork off. There you go.
And that's usually how the technical difficulties start.
Oh yeah, of course.
My brothers, because I'll give you only a little bit of the Island Rooster.
Jeff is too drunk to drive that bottle.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. I can drive this bottle all the way home.
You are home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not quite done with this one.
Okay. So what I have to do?
Just get another glass.
That's cool too.
Okay, but this one you got to compare the two of them and let us know.
Young knows Greg says he's coming down to your part of the world in October.
Yes, and I'm going to be where they're going is a special tasting up at Pudding Bay, and it's
nice.
It's at a place that I really think is going to. I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, God.
I think I had the.
Well, that's Young knows he's going to be there in October. He's going to be in Ohio in August, I think, end of August. So that's pretty cool. I
am.
No, Greg
You are now.
Greg Schneider's
Young knows what's going on in that.
Yeah, I was saying, wait a minute. I don't even know about that trip.
You're coming home soon. I can only imagine. Got to bring me home.
Yeah, we're planning a trip up to Ohio next August. So when Silas is around 1.5,
And
because he'll be 1 next April.
Tell the people really that how you got that name Silas through your wife. You named him after a bourbon.
Do you want the honest answer or do you want the real answer?
I want one that sounds really good for the podcast.
Okay. Well, which I was also trying to find that one at the stores as well, but I did not find it. But there is a bourbon produced out of Louisville that's called Silas Jones. And my son's name is Silas. And Jeff thinks that I named him after that bourbon, which for the sake of this podcast, we're just going to roll with that.
David Copperfield character, Silas Marner.
No, he did it after Silas Jones. There's no.
Hey, Jeff.
End of September.
It's Silas Jones, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey is what it is.
I can use a bottle of that next time I go down. which is this weekend.
Jeff, are we only on Facebook Live?
We're only on Facebook Live.
And we're recording for the YouTube channel. Have you actually started the podcast section yet?
Yeah, we've been on the
Okay.
podcast. It started when we did.
Okay, I missed the beginning. I probably was still setting up. So
We'll go to YouTube with the video, and we're
Well, no, we don't need your technical expertise because you don't have any. Randy asked if there was somebody that didn't have Facebook, how they could watch, and the answer is sorry.
Oh no, they can watch on YouTube when I load it to YouTube. I mean, it won't.
So, but they can't watch live. They have to wait.
They can't watch live unless
well,
unless they go to a friend's house.
Tell them to go to MSNBC. We're live on MSNBC. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, this is a Facebook exclusive. They gave Jeff $1. So Facebook has exclusive.
No, they gave me $1.50. So fuck you. Actually, on Facebook, we've been doing pretty well. We actually had our first ever Scotchy Bourbon Boy viral video. It was a Facebook Reels, and right now it stands at 1.4 million. So we are getting out there. Our name's getting out there. So that's one of the cool things. So let's fast forward. Okay, so we got the one. We had the fun, and then we hit Kentucky Bourbon Festival and met virtually, but we met Randy Pressey, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival president. And Randy took us to another level. I mean, we were able to get interviews with
another level.
level.
Not to be confused when we met Carl because he took us down to his level.
and that was actually up.
That was actually up for us. Quite frankly, yeah.
It might have been down for other people, but it brought it
down, but it was because it was us, it was up. So
well, I'm very highbrow.
Yes, you are.
I'm kind of looking at Whiskey's hair, and I'm looking at Jacob's hair, and there's a little similar thing going on as far as hair wise. It's so.
You mean is that because we both have some and you don't?
Yeah, hair apart anymore.
I almost kind of feel like I'm in that category too.
Yes.
Hey, Tiny. Greg Schneider needs to correct your time frame. It is the end of September that he is coming up to Ohio, not the end of August.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect because that'll be
right after the Kentucky Bourbon Festival,
and then in between Bourbon on the Banks.
And I'll be in Myrtle Beach that weekend
of October 1st.
No, of September. The last weekend of September.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Myrtle
Beach have to be working down there.
I mean.
Oh, nice. There you go.
If you say Myrtle Beach and you say.
Yeah, no, that's his favorite spot. I see him there all the time.
I'll fucking be there. He's going to be there.
Yeah.
Beach and bourbon.
I mean, we're only going to be there for the weekend because we're meeting up with Lena's mom and her husband Charlie. But
that's usually all.
Still a weekend. Anyway.
Yeah. I get in trouble after the weekend of the week.
All right. So we're comparing. Oh, there is no comparison to the Island Rooster.
I said that to begin with. That's why I didn't even pour it on.
What is the candy on that?
Wait, which one did I just drink is the question.
What did I just put in my mouth?
The one was the dark one, which was the Caribbean rye rum infused.
I downed both of them.
So do you need more?
Yeah.
Of course, give him more. He's gotta take my place. Just keep giving him pours.
Yeah. Where did it go?
It's that butter rum lifesavers. That candy flavor is butter rum lifesavers.
I think you nailed it, Super Nash.
I would say
just to remind me.
That's flavor is just so good.
So good. So good.
So good.
I think I had this before here, if I'm being honest.
You might have, because we did this.
Say, join me in a pour of the William Dalton wheated bourbon. Pour them if you got
Oh
them.
man,
That's French lick, right?
Yep.
that's French lick. Yeah.
All right.
That will.
So as we kept going, at one point I had an idea that we could bring on some sponsors, and how would I do that? But
Yeah.
I
think you went back to the original way that most people built relationships. You begged.
No, actually, we just did the Alan Bishop experience, which was freaking amazing. Going down
Yes, it
there,
was.
me and Xavier, Mrs. Xavier and Roxy, we did the opening. It's on YouTube. Check out the Alan Bishop experience. Have you all
Man,
watched
it's
it?
phenomenal.
Have you seen it yet, Young Nose?
The Alan Bishop experience? No, I have not, but I listened to your podcast afterwards when you were talking about it.
But it's on YouTube and it's there.
Okay.
So just go.
I'll go check it out. Yeah.
See it.
Hey,
but
don't feel bad. I'm in it, but I was on vacation for 10 days last week, and it involved Vegas and hookers. I mean, not hookers, but showgirls, bourbon, and Fremont Street.
Yeah,
So.
and it also involved
Tiny. You broke the first rule of Vegas. You talked about it.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to be going to Colorado. I'm going to spend a couple days in Colorado, and then we're going to drive hit Vegas, and we're going to end up in California.
Oh, man.
And then it's like, oh, hey, hit some distilleries, and it's like he flies in. No time for distilleries, straight out of Colorado, right to Vegas.
Oh,
That's exactly what more do you want from Super Dash there?
it's like Disney for adults. I mean, it's.
I'd show you the
No, that's not Disneyland. No, that's.
I said it's like Disney World for adults.
No, it's not. It's way worse.
Oh,
Better
it's
all at the same time.
Oh.
You just said Disney and Vegas. It's just like it's
No, I said it's like Disney World for adults. Meaning it's a place that adults want to go and have fun.
Vegas made Mrs. Youngnose cry.
But there's no
full on sobbing, like I cannot do this. She was not at all on board for Vegas.
So
we've been to Vegas more times than I can count. I think Karen,
Oh man,
probably 20 times, maybe more.
yeah.
You just ripped it. You can only count to 20.
More times than I can count. At least 20, maybe more.
I can count 21. I mean,
20 roughly.
We've been to Vegas more times than I
He
can.
lost count after 20.
Once you get past 20, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's actually only been there 5 times. He just can't count very well.
I counted everything in base 4.
You may be having a visitor in August, Tiny.
I know you've been there a lot. I'm not saying you didn't, but just like that was good. I'm gonna put that on. Maybe we could get another 1 million views on.
If it
Reels,
works.
On the reels.
He'll be down in Charleston probably the first week of October there, Young Nose.
I saw that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Lucky
keep in
Rich.
contact, meet up with him. 'Cause I'll be here. I'll be here on October.
Mm.
So what? Randy wants to come up in studio in August.
Yeah, he said he wants to plan a visit
To where?
to your studio,
It's
the man cave.
Where it all
Yes.
happens.
Where the magic happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Where else do you think the studio is?
Randy in studio is really his mom's basement, so it's
No, it's not my. It's my fucking basement, not my mom's. My mom lives in Florida. Oh, there, whiskey.
it smells like your mom's basement.
my mom's basement smells like bourbon, then it does. So bite me. All right, so here we got the Maddie Gladden, and we went. Like I said, I went down to the Spirit of French Lick, met with Alan and Jolie, Kasperzak, Alan Bishop, and they treat it. What's really cool is I did the podcast down there. I was down there by myself. Young Nose tried to go, but he couldn't go and everything. So I get down there.
Yeah.
And I set up all the video equipment. But what was really cool is in the Alan Bishop experience, the podcast that I recorded, there's a scene from there that he pulled, that Bo Cumberland pulled off the internet and basically put it in the Alan Bishop experience of Jolie and Alan going at it, talking about fighting each other and wrestling each other. And it was like, I felt honored when I saw that, that he actually
it was a
used
scene
clip
from the
of that.
podcast.
Right. And I was just like,
right. The swamp fight.
Realized what I was kind of getting into.
I would swear to God, you guys are brother and sister.
That's what
because
everybody
that is
says.
exactly
They're not fucking related.
Yeah, thank God.
There's probably a couple times a year that you guys are just rolling on the floor, just beating the hell out of each other. No,
We're waiting for that.
Yeah,
No, not yet.
We have
It's coming.
we have threatened to swamp fight before, right across the street.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
well then you just have to have the right person
One day we're
taping.
gonna just have too much to drink, and then one of us is gonna say something super shitty, and
Just break that stick off.
I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face.
So when I went down there, I was asking them, and they were talking about it. I got to talk to him for a little bit. He was supposed to meet with Fred Minnick was supposed to interview him, and they were working stuff out. And Fred was late, and then he was late again, and then I was supposed to be out of there. And to Greg Schneider's tasting, he had a tasting dinner with his whole family. And I was supposed to be out of there by 3:00, and I should have made the meeting. And all of a sudden, he basically blows Alan blows Fred Minnick off, and I'm talking to them I didn't get out of there till like 4:45. I barely got there for the start of Greg's tasting meeting or tasting event at the country club that he invited me to be. But that right before I left, I mentioned to Alan that do you think you would want to sponsor us? And he's like, how much? And my sponsorship is very small, and he's just like, absolutely. So they were the first people.
Is that what you're calling it now? Your sponsorship, Jeff?
Once again,
you said it with confidence, brother.
He sure did. Hey, he's getting better with it. Their whiskey.
It's like they all love you because they're just.
Hey, it's taken him 200 episodes to be able to say it,
with confidence,
like he did, and with confidence that he did.
God,
you know what, Jeff? Just keep going to meetings, brother.
Whiskey just going to strip me of all confidence.
We love you, brother. We've glad you progressed 200 episodes to be this confident.
Oh,
yep. You pronounced a 3-syllable word without like stopping and sounding it
out.
Yeah, exactly. What was the word? Boner.
That's two syllables, Jeff. That's 2 syllables.
Anyways, all right. So here is the Maddie Gladden that Alan bottled in bond. This is a fucking delicious bourbon.
Oh yeah.
And when we were drinking this initially, and he was sending it up to us for tasting, we knew that it wasn't the standard Kentucky bourbon, but it was something special. And there's no doubt about it. You were drinking the William Dalton. I'm going to give a little bit of a pour here for myself. Pass your glass there.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Jacob, I really appreciate you coming on, tasting this.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Now, this whiskey, Jacob, this whiskey here is
Young Nose, what did you ever decide to pour there? Or did you?
Who?
Oh yeah, I've been drinking this whole time. I picked myself up a bottle of Basil Hayden.
Ooh.
Subtle Smoke.
Subtle Smoke. That's the new one they just come out with.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you think? I haven't had it.
This is actually really delicious. It's very sweet. It takes the regular Basil Hayden, which is your classic bourbon, and it just elevates it. And you have a nice. For me, when I first smelled it and tasted it, it was like a honey bunches of oats cereal is what it smelled like, and then the taste is just sweet vanilla, slight oak, a lot of caramel. Oh, it's amazing. It's good stuff.
You know, Nash, when you asked that question, I was like, man, I know what he's going to do. He's going to say, you know what? I'm drinking something that's super hard to find, pretty rare, kind of expensive, Enfamil.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
He's just.
I should have said that.
About 10
Right.
times as much right now.
And that's about the rarest thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So,
even
you know
more
what, though? I sprung for the good stuff. I got the plus vitamin D.
I sprung for the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I got the plus vitamin D. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there was one there because they had the Basil Hayden toast as well when I was picking this out. But they had this up there, and I'm like, oh, that's different. They only had one bottle left, so I was like, yeah, I'm grabbing it.
I heard. Where's your go-to store there in Charleston now?
Well, I try to go around to different areas if I can. Usually when I'm out and about working, because I work all over the city since I drive around. But that particular bottle I picked up at Total Wine.
Total Wine. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right. So, what did you think of? What did you think of that?
Well, I enjoyed it, that's for sure. I've been trying to pick up on like some of the verbiage that you get because I get really confused, but it's fine. And you said
You're perfect.
you said
Grain forward.
grain forward. And does that mean it's like towards the front of the mouth that taste?
It means that you're going to pick up like.
Jeff has no idea what it means. He just uses it because everyone else says it.
Yeah.
You're going to pick up like the wheat flavor or a bread or a yeast, or the grain is like what when you're talking about grains. So a lot of times you can pick up like a cinnamon bun or whatever. You get like a cracker.
Young Nose, did you ship those notes up there to Jeff? I know he didn't get that all by himself.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I emailed it to him. That way it got there quicker.
There you go.
And he's actually reading it from the computer screen that's facing him.
I'm reading it off the computer. I'm reading it off my phone.
Okay, but your phone is linked to your computer, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's my watch.
Actually,
there you go. There's the notes. I got all the tasting notes.
So actually, Nash, he's been watching Minnick's podcast and just,
Oh, so tonight we're talking about the Spirit of French Lake, and we're talking about Alan Bishop being our sponsor, and we're just going to we'll move on a little bit in a sec, but Alan's been such a great friend, included us all we were invited down into the Alan Bishop experience. We went down, met Bo Cumberland. One of the cool things that's happening is that we've got the Kentucky Bourbon Festival bus tour, and Bo is going to be there. So now you heard at the beginning of this, the theme song by Kenny Fuller, but Bo is going to shoot video so that we have an opening to our YouTube that'll be professionally shot by a documentarian. And he basically did the Alan Bishop experience. He's done everything, the Neely family distillery, as far as what they show in their gift shop and their street and their reenactments. He's a fantastic, he's a fantastic person who puts together stories. I mean, he does it well. And
I think they're going to call it the Scotchy Bourbon Boys Survivings.
Survivor Series.
I was thinking that it was going to be they were going to rate dives off the bus. And so I'll probably...
if you could survive a bus tour, 2 bus tours with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
This year, I was wondering how he's going
I'm gonna have to get in on one of those bus tours. I hear they're off the charts.
Yeah, they are.
That bus tour.
Or should I stay off the steps?
Off the steps is what they are.
That bus tour is starting at the Bardstown Bourbon Company with an hour and a half in the parking lot waiting for Greg to get there from his physical, Greg Schneider, who's going to do the tour. And we are going to be drinking for an hour and a half in the morning from like about 8:20 probably all the way till about 9:30, 10.
It's a good thing we've been practicing on Saturday mornings.
That right there should tell you, everybody out there, that when Scotchy Bourbon Boys book a bus tour and they come to Bardstown Bourbon Company and they have master distiller Greg Snyder, he's got to go take a physical to lead this group. They made him have a doctor's physical before he could come lead us. That's got us group of assholes.
Oh my
on
God.
a bourbon tour.
So that dude's actually shooting a documentary of our bus tour.
Oh, he's shooting not a documentary. I basically had.
Is it going to be more like a children's program? We're going to call it Tiny Words to Read.
or from what I heard, it was going to be really sort of evidence for the lawyers and shit.
All right, so let's get on to it. So we got Alan Bishop and the Spirit of French Lick. They have been our sponsors from the start. We love them. Thank you so much to Alan and
yes, thank you, Spirit French Lick.
Cheers, Alan.
And Alan Bishop and the whole crew over there.
The second place that we pulled in a sponsor is, and we can't say enough, is the Log Still Distillery.
Yes.
Now, we have Monk's Road is there, and they're getting ready to release Rattle and Snap. And when that happens, I can't wait. Plus, they've opened and started distilling. When we were down there for the Bourbon Capital Barbecue Challenge at Log Still Distillery, where they had professional barbecue competition and also distillery competition, and we were part of that, doing podcasts down there. We were pretty much the official podcast of the Bourbon Capital, barbecue challenge. And but we had Wally and Charlie Dant on, sure. And they talked about everything that's going on. So check that podcast out. But they have sponsored. We initially, when I met Wally, he looked at me after we were done and he said, "Tiny, is that your name?" And I said, "Yeah." So I asked him. I asked him to sponsor, if he could sponsor the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and he said yes. They've been nothing but spectacular. They are. What's going to come out of this distillery is going to be amazing. So once again, we can't pass up that part of meeting. It was just a special time. Actually, Young Nose, you came down for that when
I remember. Yep, we made it. And we came up from our vacation in Tennessee. On our way back home.
And we did that, and we got that as a sponsor. Now we no longer have Watershed as a sponsor, but I do promote them. But Aaron Harris came out of Kentucky to save the Watershed Distillery. They were producing some stuff in Ohio that a lot of people in Ohio didn't like. There were some people who liked it, there's no doubt. But after finding out Aaron Harris was there, but then that also had us meet Ann Dimmick.
Dimmick,
working there.
Bourbon Annie.
And between Ann and Aaron, I've tasted some fantastic rye. I mean, I think Aaron changed my mind on rye single-handedly, because I've been able to taste their barrel there that they had, and it's just very delicious. But in this case, Jacob, we have barrel strength 66.3.
I'll participate in spirit. I got my Watershed shirt on.
All right.
Called the King's Chambers. This was the barrel that was picked by Aaron, that was available, that I was able to pick up. What?
Greg Schneider. Planning on the physical going fine. As long as nobody dives off the bus, our tour should go okay.
even I'm just catching hell all night. So this here is fantastic. This is on the lines. Actually, when I first tasted
Give me
this,
just a splash of
it
that.
was
I forgot
on the
how good
lines
that
of
is.
Booker.
There you go, Xavier. Live a little.
So Jacob,
That's
just
A little less.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm not.
Jacob, if you haven't figured it out, Jeff's kind of taken us episode by episode. And you got to remember, this is number 200, so you only have 195 more pours to drink tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I've got you 3/4 of the way home because this was last year. Yeah,
That's good stuff. Real good
I
stuff.
like that a lot.
yes. He picked.
Is that the OHLQ pick for Watershed,
This
or is that the distillery release one?
It was a distillery release from when we. Oh my God! There's so much chocolate in that. It's all it is.
Chocolate.
It's almost like drinking liquid milk chocolate. I mean, that
Is that
Honestly, Tiny, they have a word for that. It's called Hershey's.
I'm not getting chocolate.
I'm just kidding.
You get chocolate, but vanilla and cinnamon was what I was thinking.
vanilla and cinnamon?
That's good.
Oh my
But
God!
it's delicious. It's got a good even taste and it stays sweet all the way back.
I just get milk chocolate. Where's this from? All right.
I'll take it.
So, those were our sponsors. Right now, we have once again the Spirit of French Lick and Log Still. We're looking for a third sponsor, but we've kept evolving. Last year at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I mean,
I remember that week. That was awesome.
That was unbelievable at Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Wasn't it there, Super Nash and Xavier? We had the time, sanity of our lives. And then it went crazy. The podcast went crazy right after there. And then I had a little bit of a setback for a month and just dealt with some COVID issues, and then have been working, work back into it. And then when we're going forward, we kept going, but we finally hit this past couple weeks. We were down there again for that barbecue challenge, the Bourbon Capital Barbecue Challenge at the Log Still Distillery. Handed out a ton of cards, did a bunch of stuff for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
What a magnificent facility. If you get a chance to attend an event there, don't miss it. It is really a cool place.
And we met so many good people.
Yes, we did.
Stacy Pritchard, who is general manager of Watch Hill Proper. We got to go to Watch Hill Proper, see their collection. We ended up at the big house. It's
kind of on the order of a speakeasy.
Oh, this is insane.
But an upscale one.
So the barbecue challenge ends, and we are going back to Bardstown, and we decide we're going to eat at the Rick House, which is in the basement of the building where the Kentucky Bourbon Festival offices are. And we leave, and there's an accident, and we have to wind our way back through. It took us forever. We didn't know where. I went the wrong way, then I went the right way, but then there was an accident, so I had to go the wrong way again. And so there was a bunch of crap that. What's that? Is that me or you? Who's picking that up? That's not me.
Watch a YouTube video.
Is that who's picking that up? That's Young Notes. You're picking up the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So anyway,
Did you just hear yourself? Is that what you did?
I heard myself in double, and then I went all retarded.
I was reviewing an old podcast on the podcast.
Oh, there you
How
go.
efficient of you.
So, anyways, we end up eating
Tops and
dinner.
young nose
Randy
efficiency.
beat us back, even though he packed up all the tents and everything.
Yeah, how the
Somehow
hell
we
did that
get
happen?
there,
Yeah.
and he's there. So we we're eating at the restaurant. He came down with some friends.
the Rick
They ate
House.
with us, and he was
The
headed to
basement of
this
Spalding Hall, the Rick House.
right. And
Great restaurant.
he was going to go. He knew about the big house and what was happening, but we didn't have an invitation. But out of nowhere, Stacy Pritchard is like, "Hey, I'm at the big house. You guys should come." And then she gives us an address. So it's like what, 10 o'clock at night?
Yeah, quarter after 10.
And we're sitting there. So we head over to the address, and it's across from a church. Oh, you bastard. Oh, my God. Yeah, you don't even update me on what you get anymore. It's just it's like Carl at least tells me that he's got.
Well, of course not, because then he feels obligated to send you some.
No, he doesn't send me anything. He sent me stuff to podcast. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to. Super Nash is wonderful. I love you.
Oh my God, this is
no doubt.
Mm.
So we get an invitation and an address, and we go to the address, and it's supposed to be across from a church.
We're lucky we didn't get shot.
So there's this little house, and it's just like in a beat up neighborhood, and they're like, "We're downstairs. Just come in. We're trying to
around
open
the
the
freaking door."
And
Yeah.
It's like it's one step from boarded up. I mean, it's a little ranch, and we're like, okay, it's like a speakeasy, and we're trying to get in the house. We're not. He put in south
There's all my pellets
instead of
double eye
north.
through the door. You know.
So it was two houses. Should have been two houses south of Fred and Sandy Knows, but instead we're on the other side by Talbot's and we went the other way, towards Talbot's on the where the address. And so we were lucky because we tried to get in. We really
That's what I'm
did.
saying. We're lucky we didn't see.
Who's trying to break into my house? We're
Buckshot
banging on the
coming through the
door,
door.
and then we trying to go in. It's locked. So she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's north." So we go there, and it is an amazing
It was
place.
1835 mansion, all fully restored, beautiful.
Yeah, and
you guys were going to break into
so
a shack.
the key is that the people who own it, which is John and Cherry Spicer, they are from our neck of the woods, right up by
They
where
probably don't live too far
Whiskey
from
lives.
Whiskey.
Yeah, really close. And they basically, in their library of this 1835 house, instead of books, is whiskey, bourbon. And he basically is like every single thing he's got. And he's like, I don't care. Whatever you want, have a pour.
I drank some whiskey. Bourbon.
That's it? That's all you got?
Wait a minute.
I drank whiskey.
It had been barreled in 1963 and bottled in 1971.
That was good.
Which that was just pretty freaking awesome, and it was delicious. It was outstanding. It was some Heaven Hill, is what it was.
So what I want to do, we're getting a little bit longer. We'll wrap up, but let's go over the other people who Greg Schneider, 100%. You can't say enough about what and how much he supported us, and we're watching what he put into the bottle at the Bardstown Bourbon Company for Chicken Cock Whiskey. We've been watching the whole, growing up with them. We've been growing up with the Spirit of French Lick, but we've also been growing up with the people at Luca Mariana.
Yes.
Here, this barrel pick, we were part of it, courtesy of Randy. And we
That
did
was fun.
barrel pick.
That was a fun day.
I was able to. We have to talk about that. We met Sandy No through my painting, because when in 2019 when I was down there, and got to meet Fred and Freddie, but Sandy basically became my
Yep, here it comes.
Scotchy Bourbon Boy,
and she is the bourbon queen of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. And she basically hung my painting in the kitchen where the kitchen table is. The kitchen table that Booker basically picked all and where he just contemplated and started Booker's at that kitchen table. Well, my painting of them that I had done with the bottle of Booker's that led to me and Super Nash meeting, because he had the bottle of Booker's, and then he came up in December for that December meeting and brought that bottle and left it with us. And he now still holds one more of those bottles.
Yes, I do. One full bottle of it.
Yeah, we'll have to pull that out one day.
Yep.
But we've got to wait a while, because that.
Oh, yeah. That'll be another special episode.
Oh, tonight.
He's being respectful. So anyways,
I started to go pull it.
So I got to meet Andy. She was on. We had her on the podcast. We went and got the podcast from the Man Cave. That year of when the Kentucky Bourbon Festival was virtual, we actually had booked to go there, and we went there anyways. Even though Kentucky Bourbon Festival wasn't going on, we stayed the week and we did podcasts. We podcasted from Rabbit Hole. We podcasted through the Man Cave. We podcasted. That's where we did the Log Still podcast. I mean, it was just a fantastic time. And so going forward, last year, I was able to, in my relationship with Randy from Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I was able to go on the barrel pick at the Kentucky Bourbon offices and do the barrel pick that Super Nash just showed for the Knob Creek pick with Freddie No. And that pick was fantastic. There's a lot of people out there that think that pick was the best pick of the festival. And so there's a lot of fans. Now, we did that, and then that leads into now, what we're doing now. Luca Mariano, we had such a good time with Kenny and Jennifer. Jennifer Brandt is there. She had just picked, she's in charge of the blends for Luca Mariano, and the current blend for the bourbon and the rye. She was solely responsible for, and it was delicious. They just keep this going and going and going. You ready for another one? Of course I am. So this barrel pick, we were a part of.
This might be a first.
What?
Mrs. Youngnose is watching the live feed.
All right.
So
I was supposed to drink all your stuff. What's up with that?
Hi, Mrs. Youngnose.
My brother's.
Okay. So this Luca Mariano pick, we were at, and we were just like, it was just a weird day. It was rainy and everything. We had a blast. Tyler Main, who is Michael Myers on for Friday, was it Halloween? Yeah. Halloween was there, and he was doing a show on spirits around the world. And he was there, and then we met Randy and let's see, Randy was there. Justin Thompson was there. Also, the other Justin from Justin's House of Bourbon.
And
Steve Coombs was there. But then also Super Nash and Young Nose were there. I mean, and we all got to participate in the pick. Now we were drinking at pick that day, and it was, like I said, it was a rainy, cold day in a tent. The weather wasn't great. A lot of things were happening, and when I was doing the pick, I don't think my palate was right, but it tasted good. But what came out that bottle, once they bottled it, and what's this? Taste this.
It's delicious.
Taste it now. Just do it.
Taste it. Taste it.
I don't like peer pressure, guys. I don't know about that.
God. It's like somebody cooked me French toast, butter with syrup.
Oh my gosh, I gotta try that.
Yeah.
You better get here.
You hadn't tried it since.
Start driving.
That's not.
I know that's that Luca Mariano. I remember that being part of the pick, but I can't remember all the different flavors.
Oh,
Not
my
taste.
God, yeah.
I'm telling you here.
It is.
So where's
It's
the-
buttery French toast.
Like,
A little bit of maple
I
syrup.
love butter
Yeah.
French
Yeah,
toast.
we're sitting in Bill's
I
house in
cracked
February.
my
He
bottle.
cracks it, and I take the first sip, and I'm like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? It did not taste like French toast with syrup."
Yeah.
I know that. That's my favorite food on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's really out of this world.
yeah. So we basically, and Kenny Fuller, who works for Luca Mariano, he's part of the Americana band, and he basically is one of their bourbon what are they
Brand
called?
ambassadors.
Brand ambassadors, and he basically tours with them. Him and Jennifer together are fantastic to hang out with.
Yeah, they are.
And Kenny's such a great guy. So we're sitting there at the
The bourbon
barbecue. He's like got his guitar. He's like, how about a Scotchy Bourbon Boys jingle? The Scotchy Bourbon. He's like, well, whatever. And I'm like, you do it.
Yeah, go for it.
And it's out of it's just fantastic.
You heard it to start off. I mean, where he took it, all I said to him is, I'm like, do you think you really want to do that? He's like, yeah. I said, combine Darius Rucker and Mellencamp and come up with something. He's like, no problem. And I really think that's exactly what it is. And then how that evolved into what that is, that Kenny's taking us to another level. And, I hope in the end that what makes us famous is that Kenny Fuller becomes famous, and then our jingle was by him, and then we become famous.
So our goal is to make Kenny Fuller famous.
Yes. And so everybody
Because he made a
The
jingle.
master plan may have some holes in it, but we'll
Yeah, but by the way, that Scotchy Bourbon Boys jingle is pretty damn good. When I the first podcast when you had it playing, I'm like, what is this? This isn't the little Steve-O, and then I'm like, this is actually pretty good.
we gotta keep little Steve-O going because we gotta put on show me the way to the next whiskey bar is what we're
Right.
So
well, of course
that'll finish up this podcast tonight. But so we're there. So now we're present. And one of the cool things, it's one of the cool things about where we're going is there's a path that I've been taking that I want to take everybody that's associated with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys with me. And
Prestige worldwide.
Scotch. Speaking of that, I was just watching Anchorman last night.
I'm sorry.
So the other
Maybe
one,
that's not where you were going, but I was kind of excited, and you all worked up.
way too.
So when we were at Whiskey's house this past weekend, he has a pontoon boat, and then there was another pontoon boat parked next to his pontoon boat that was part of his family's, and I was like with we were there with Roxy, and I was like, do you want to get on a boat? So we looked up the video. I'm on a boat from Saturday Night Live with what's his name, Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat, and he did it with T-Pain. I'm on a motherfucking boat. And then we went right to Prestige Worldwide. Scotch. And we watched that. So we watched that back to back, sitting on what would you say, the pier of Whiskey's house, watching that. That was a terrible moment.
All right.
Clapping our asses off. Thank you for that, Whiskey.
Oh, sure.
Didn't mean to interrupt your porno.
Sorry about that.
Are you kidding, man?
Not sure I agree about that.
Hey, Nash.
Yeah.
We're at like 90 minutes and it's Prime Day. Jeff's cutting into my time.
I
Yeah, there you go. All right. Anyways, so
You can't use that excuse. You got tomorrow for Prime Day too.
I'm busy tomorrow.
I'll be fixed tomorrow.
all right. So everybody,
So where were you going to take us? You started telling us you were going to take us somewhere. Where are you going to take
Down this path.
Yeah.
He's taking us on a boat ride. That's what he just said.
so we did our first ever.
We're on a boat ride with Jeff
We did our first ever barrel.
and no life preservers.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
bourbon.
Like the people
Just
that-
bourbon.
like, fuck this shit. So, anyways, we've done our first barrel pick. We got to do it this past June. It was June 9th, right before the barbecue. And we went there with the barrel room and Carrie Sullivan. It was great because we weren't sure. We were only supposed to have 4, but we ended up having the people who came along. So we all got the pick.
And we had Sandy No with us.
Sandy No was there. The barrels were fantastic. We knew what we wanted. We did the pick. And so I've been putting out vouchers for the pick recently. There's only 9 left. So of the split of the 90 bottles that we're supposed to voucher out before we buy it,
10% remaining.
there's only 9 left. And I'm not going to, I think I'll probably try and keep them and then distribute them at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival for anybody who's down there for those. So, but it just kind of like, people want it. And so if this is a successful pick, which we are very confident it will be, the second Scotchy Bourbon Boys pick is going to be William Dalton at the Spirit of French.
The Spirit of French Lick.
And that
Oh
is
my.
gonna happen on the
Bourbon.
Tuesday before Bourbon Festival. Everybody that comes down for Kentucky Bourbon Festival is invited from the Scotchy Bourbon Boys to go up to the Spirit of French Lick and participate in this barrel pick.
Like going to be all 30,000 of them?
Yes, all
That's the way
30,000.
it sound.
Yeah, where
Fuck yeah.
Wait, what world are you living in?
Akron.
Akron.
He thinks there's going to be 30,000, but I can't even get whiskey to come to the pick. So,
I guarantee you, Spirits of French Lick would love to have 30,000 Scotchy Bourbon Boy fans in their parking lot. The barrel pick. We'll
Oh my
break up
gosh.
the fucking droppers and fucking put a dropper in a glass.
exactly. Cheers. Al.
Better order up some more Scotchy Bourbon Boy glasses.
He did say at the beginning he did put in another order, so there's more coming.
Yeah, there's. So we're gonna finish this up. We've covered everything as far as the last part is that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys have been visiting a couple of the smaller distilleries. Where that viral video was us drinking from a barrel from Three Boys Family Distillery in right outside of Frankfort, Kentucky. And Hunter Coffee is the master distiller there. Check that out. Great experience. I wanted to push that. And then also
Is that the one where you got doused thieving from the barrel?
No. The thieving I didn't get doused, but the pulling of the barrel was Wilderness Trail with Jason Sparkman when I went to
Okay.
Wait, so
shelf.
the viral video is you stealing?
Thieving.
Same thing. Basically pulling it straight out of the barrel with the.
Oh, I like that. The viral video was Jeff stealing from the barrel.
Like a big long metal brass.
So
straw.
wait, okay, so you're
Copper
not going
straw.
to get arrested for that viral
No,
video?
Oh no!
Got into the barrel and
Great clarification.
I'm holding on to the end of a straw and pulling up. Got liquid
Yeah,
spot.
okay, I see.
And you
I
fill
see.
your Glencairn and sample it.
Okay, I was worried for a second. I was like, oh man,
So-
I should be on this podcast.
What am I getting
Earlier
myself
on,
into?
I'd like to mention Neely Family
Oh, yeah.
Distillery,
Super Nash.
Really?
Shut the
where
fuck up. You're
where
stealing,
I barreled my own.
you bastard.
I love this.
And I named mine
Tell everybody,
Sunny Huckle Rose.
that's some old shit. I got the newest barrel right there.
Yeah. I saved mine. I broke out the old shit. The old school.
But Super Nash, tell everybody the exciting aspect of what's happening for Royce and Rebecca. I was trying to get down there to podcast this weekend with them, and they're a little busy with what the hell's been going on.
Run that by me one more time.
Holy shit, you don't know what's going on?
No, I don't.
Jackie Z-Con? Come on. No?
Yeah, I know that she left and she's going out. She left. Yes, she left. And she's going out on her own experience.
No. She's going to Neely Family Distillery.
No way.
She's distilling her own brand using their whiskey. And
okay, got it.
they're doing it with I don't think it's color. It's Whiskey 520. I met the guy last year. I believe they're out of Colorado. They are a whiskey society, and they're doing it with her too. So they're pulling that. So that happened. But then, hey, there's a bottle of moonshine over there.
The bottle or the jar?
Let's see. Wait. No. Where is that? God darn it. Oh. Right over here, just a clear bottle that looks like a little hook. There it is. Right there. Pop Casey's.
This? Oh, gotcha.
So they also
Sorry it took me so long, guys.
have Greg Rose producing Pop Casey's 9-grain moonshine, which is, I got to sample this last year.
Do you know what 9 grains are in there?
I'm sure I could read.
No, don't read anything right now. I've seen how much whiskey you've been drinking.
Yeah, not only that, Jeff, we don't have that kind of time.
All right, so the last one we're going to do is the Kentucky Straight Bourbon. This is Summer Spice, and this was thieved from the barrel right there. So give me your glass there.
The legal kind.
Yep. Yes.
Yes, the legal thieving.
What proof is that, Jeff?
I will tell you, because I wrote it in my own handwriting. Wait. 108.4, 54.2 ABV.
What's the
Nice.
mash bill? What's the mash bill on it?
Oh, I got that too.
I know you do.
25 rye and 8 malt. What's yours?
Same thing. 67 corn, 25 rye, 8 malt. Yep. But mine's only 104 proof.
This was pretty good. And they got it all pulled into the gift shop.
Yep.
As far as the thieving. And thank you for telling me about Three Boys.
Oh, yes. Three Boys was really awesome. Yeah.
All right, let's finish up with that. Anybody else have anything they want to add to the 200th podcast?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the next 200 and what all the laughs and surprises and technical difficulties and barrel picks, whiskey spills, and bourbon tastings that we're going to have. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
I'll only come back to the 400th next time.
Only the okay, yeah.
I show up every 200 episodes.
Every
right.
No. Jacob doesn't realize that he's been sucked in.
I mean, you just gotta have to offer me out.
The vortex.
All right,
I'll just pull him in. I'll pull him in once a month, and we'll give him a nickname.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, that's the way it happens.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal in 32 states.
Please tell me this is one of them.
Oh, it is.
Well,
I have a comment to make about the 200th episode.
Perfect.
That was the infamous that we had no idea about.
Young Nose, I went home. It's like I couldn't sleep. My stomach hurt so bad.
Do you know how much trouble I got in from my wife when I got home?
My God.
not as much as the Jack Daniels.
Or the Irish whiskey night.
Woo!
What?
The Irish whiskey night that all my research just got totally vanished. You remember that one?
The Irish whiskey night. But recently, I had the wife gave me for Father's Day Redbreast, which is an Irish whiskey. 12.
Whoa! Too much information.
Anyways, I got messed up.
That's jeez.
The same way drinking that. I have that question now.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's like
Irish 80 proof is like you're drinking barrel strength bourbon.
Yeah, it's just crazy. All right, everybody. Let me see if I can get this queued up.
Probably not.
Yeah, I can. I think I can because it's right. Oh, I got it queued up. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you, everybody on Facebook. Thank you, everybody on YouTube. And thank you, everybody on the podcast. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, www.scotchybourbonboys. We are on all major podcast formats, plus Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
Twitter.
YouTube.
Those are the 5. Remember, everybody, good bourbon equals good friends and good times. Get the hell out there and live your life dangerously. Woo!
All right. Thanks, everyone.
And
cheers. Thanks.
Is going to
salute
us out.
And a cat.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right, let's you're such a all right.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I'm gonna start the saving, otherwise. You're such All right, hold on. Scotchy Bourbon Boys, save. There we go. All right, building the episode. But let's listen to one more time before we get out of here for Facebook Live. I am going to put up this.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raisins and hay.
have fun. Yeah.
The Watershed Story. A watershed moment might be pivotal, but it might also be quiet and fleeting. It could be a monumentous occasion, a cause for celebration, an enormous triumph, or a small daily victory. A watershed moment could be a rekindling or an observation or a gathering. Any opportunity to relish with friends and family. It's whatever you choose to cheers to, who you're gathered around, and whatever's worth celebrating. We founded Watershed Distillery on the principles of community in 2010. We wanted to live in, work in, and contribute to the community in which we grew up. We aimed to create spirits and stood apart in quality and character. Along the way, we set out to form a community of our own, one that could gather together to savor, celebrate, and enjoy good spirits and company. We've grown from a tiny little still and 2 guys in jumpsuits to a dedicated team of over 40 people and 2 much larger stills. If you're ever in the area, stop by so we can introduce you to our team and pour you some of our award-winning bourbon. Creating it was our watershed moment, but we want to hear about yours.